Good morning, Chelsea. Yes, here down in Market Street, I'm here with Edward Dougherty, local teacher, poet, author?
Yes.
All the above. Yeah, is that all? And we have books here, we have poems. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Thank you, Grant.
I'm really excited to get into this. This is a book that was put out just 2 years ago about 9/11.
Right.
Poems, correct?
Right. Poems about 9/11.
Well, yeah, I'm so excited to get into all this. That's a lot of years into work. Again, we're right on Market Street, so don't forget we have our door open. If you want to come check out any of these poems or books, we're here until 7 with Edward, and we'll have a lot more, which, again, I'm very excited. So thank you so much for being here, because we haven't had a poet yet. So
you always need a poet.
I'm ready to get my poem skills on. Anyway, stick with us. We'll be here through 7. All right, back here, Mornings in Corning, we're here with Edward Dougherty, Mr. Doc, right?
Yes, that's right.
The kids you teach?
That's what my students call me.
Yeah. Oh, and where do you teach again?
SUNY Corning Community College.
And English, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So what got you into this? Because I'm holding Journey Work, Crafting a Life of Poetry and Spirit. So this is, when did you start this? I want to know when you got into this.
This is a collection of essays that tell my whole story, and I think I started writing them a while ago. It doesn't matter how long.
Yes. What got you into writing and poetry?
Well, like everybody who goes to high school in America, I was exposed to poetry in classes. I had the good fortune of some really great teachers who were passionate about it. You know, I didn't understand what they were talking about. I just wrote down what they told me the poems were about.
Okay.
But because they loved it so much, something in me said, well, if they like it, there must be something there, even though I'm not really getting it. And I stuck with it, and I had some really great teachers in college, same kind of thing. I didn't really understand it. But I found that trying to write something kind of made my life my own, you know? Like, you live an experience.
Is that what you went to college for?
I did.
Okay, so you stuck with it. You're right.
I did. I committed to it pretty early. My dad wanted me to have a backup instead of being a poet, as you might imagine.
What's he saying now with all these books?
Oh, he passed away a couple of years ago. There's a funny story of... I think it's a funny story. If you read the book, you can let me know if you think it's funny. 20 years after my dad died, my family set up a memorial chain so that on June 4th, one sibling would call the other and tell a story about our dad.
Aww,
and I tell the story of trying to figure out what story do I tell. Then nobody called.
Oh, no.
The chain got broken.
Oh, no.
But it gets healed. But my dad is a big feature in the book because he told great stories, and he told jokes, which helped me to zoom in on how language can say more than the words say.
Okay.
Which is great fun.
That is amazing. So I can't wait to learn more about this. Again, stick with us. We're here with Edward Dougherty until 7, so stay with us. Good morning. Back here with Edward Dougherty. Thanks again so much for being here with us this morning.
My pleasure, Grant.
Very excited. Again, we have another book.
Yeah.
We have actually a couple more to get through, so I'm excited about that. But this one, you're Mr. International. You lived in Hiroshima, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Tell me about that and where these came from.
Well, we were peace volunteers at a place called the World Friendship Center, and and writing poems about the place. You know, I couldn't speak Japanese or read Japanese, so being a big reader, writer, being illiterate was quite a life lesson for me.
Oh, yeah.
And being the foreigner, you know,
of course.
Just being someone who doesn't look the same as everybody else it was like another degree, actually, living abroad. And these poems grew out of that time there and trying to integrate what does it mean to remember what happened in Hiroshima so long ago.
And what was that process like when you were over there and you know, just taking it all in and writing
at first poems? It was so incredibly overwhelming.
It was, yes, I'm sure.
I mean, the sights and sounds, I couldn't speak the language. I didn't know if people were talking to me. If they were talking to me, I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know, the food is different. We had moved from a town of about 25,000 people to a city of 1 million. And we lived on a streetcar line, so the trains were going right in front of the house, sleeping on the floor. We were lost for quite a number of months.
Oh, no.
And we were in charge of this peace center. We were running the day-to-day operations, so we were learning our jobs at the same time that we were you know, jet-lagged and confused.
Yes.
So writing poems was actually one way to try and understand my own experience, we were hearing the stories of people who survived the atomic bomb, which was incredibly moving and disconcerting, because their goal was to tell their story, to say, here's what happened to me, let's make sure it happens to no one else. So there was this forward momentum to what they were saying, to say, what can we do to prevent this from happening? So writing poems was my way of integrating that.
That's amazing. And there's still, I know you told me some things that we'll get into on our next little hit coming up, more to unpack with this book even, so stick with us. Again, we'll have more with Edward Dougherty coming up. Well, Edward, I was flipping through this book and I found this calligraphy here. Tell me what that is.
So this is so Mr. Morishita, who is the chairman of the World Friendship Center, is also a pretty famous calligrapher in Japan.
Okay.
And so this is the kanji for Buddha's mind or heart.
Okay.
Yeah, and
you knew him, right? And
yeah,
so everything in this book is what you know, people you know.
People I know. He told the story of when he experienced the atomic bomb, and he was a little schoolboy and tried to go home and find his mom, who was in the house, and she died. And he grew up to be this gentle, kind, beautiful man. And I was so pleased that he allowed me to use his calligraphy for the book.
That's amazing. And I want you to take a look on your screen at home, too, because we have some more of your emblem work. So it's the calligraphy with the poem. So tell me how that kind of coordinates with this.
So one of the things about the Japanese calligraphy is that I can't read Japanese, so I don't know what it says unless there's translation. But the Japanese told me that artistic calligraphy, people couldn't read it either. That it was like a demonstration of the feeling of what the words mean.
Oh.
And that's what I was trying to do with the emblems, to create a feeling or an impression. And then I wrote poems separately. And I hope they go together, but of course that really depends on the viewer, reader.
Well, we have one live in person here, so we're going to show it coming up next, and you can be the judge if it goes together, right? Yeah, so again, stick with us, we'll have more coming up. Well, Chelsea, we're up to the emblem right now. What is this one? Can you read that for us?
Sure. So I want to give a shout out to Dave Higgins, who really designed these for a show at the Atrium Gallery at Corning Community College. So it's, I did the calligraphy itself, but the poem is really...
So wait, you do the calligraphy also?
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
And the idea of an emblem is that it's both together.
Yeah.
So, So it's called Seeing Through the Rain. The problem of rain, seeing phenomena as beautiful or awful, either way, each falling drop is full of the flight of birds.
See, I would have said that totally wrong.
I don't know that there's a wrong.
I know.
Words are,
You have that nice poetic way of speaking it. That's why I wanted you to say it.
There was a funny, when one of my books came out, there were poems about my family in it, and my brother asked me to read some poems at a family gathering. Yeah. And my brothers said the same thing. Oh, I would have read that totally different. Well, I understand that.
These are amazing, and this is, again, you guys saw that on your screen before this hit, a collection of them that we have, but this is one right in person, so I think it goes well with it too, and I love it. It's nice to have something visual.
I was at a time when, I teach writing at the community college, so I'm reading a lot of student writing, and reading my own work and writing stuff, and I get sick of words.
Yeah, I get spacey, so it's nice to like...
The image is really restful for me.
Exactly, yeah. Great. And then we have more coming up, because you did a lot of poems on water features in our area that we're going to talk about in a bit. So
good.
Again, stay with us, because we have more on that. That's very interesting. You won't want to miss that one. All right, Edward. Now we're here with the House of Green Water. So this is, tell me about this, because this is right in our area.
Right.
So we were international before, but now we're here.
Very local. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, the college had a special themed year of water, sustainability, and as a precious resource. But the humanities wanted to look at, well, what does it mean?
Okay.
So we cooked up this plan. I didn't cook up this plan. Lou Blyler was the main instigator. I wrote a bunch of poems about ponds and creeks and waterfalls.
Honestly, that's what we're really known for around here, what I'm gathering as I've been here now a year and a half. The waterfalls are unreal. Yeah. And I opened right to the gorge one.
Yeah, so that's from Watkins Glen, and trying to get the feeling of it just with real quick images. And then I turned the poems over to Will Wickham, who's the composer and director of the Cantata Singers in Elmira. And he set them to music and created a full show with the cantata singers and student singers and professional musicians and student musicians.
Whole production.
It was really fabulous. There's a recording of it on YouTube. It's called Where Sacred Waters Divide. Where Sacred Waters Divide. Right. And this is the chapbook that was published by a local publisher, Michael Sarnecki at Foothills Publishing. And the cover is an image from Ron Dixon, who taught in the area for years and taught at the college for years. So
this is my favorite thing so far. I love the water. I've been, again, Chelsea and I just went to the gorge last weekend, so it's perfect for me to read this one right now. So again, and then we have even another book coming up, one that you spent a long time working on about 9/11, right?
About 9/11.
We're going to get into that coming up. So again, stick with us. We have more with Edward Dougherty coming up. All right, back here again. Now we have another book. We've been going through the books. I love it.
Just keep coming.
Lots of reading. I love it. So tell me about this one. This is 10048.
Right. So that's the zip code of the Twin Towers.
Okay.
So the whole book is about the construction, the destruction, and the kind of living legacy of the Twin Towers. So it's a 9/11 book.
This is something everyone remembers. Like even I was young, but I still remember it was a very intense day. So tell me about, like what inspired some of these poems for you, or why did you want to take this on?
Inspire, it makes it seem like it was something I wanted to do. It felt a little bit more like a moral duty. Okay. Like this is the biggest event in my lifetime, for sure. Most of our lifetimes. It's changed the world we've lived in. So I wanted I knew politicians and historians would have their say at the story. And I thought artists should weigh in. We should try and take on the emotional and moral dimensions of it. So I put it down and picked it up and put it down. I always felt like I was kind of failing because the story itself continued to evolve.
Okay, yeah.
You know, as we found out different things about what happened or why it happened or how it happened, the meaning of it kept changing.
Okay.
And you know, no matter what I put in there, I knew that there was so much more that I was leaving out. So it took a long time for me to find the form and find the story within it and find a structure to tell the story. And that's the book.
That's the book, and it's out now.
It's out now. It just came out a couple of years ago, but since it's the 20th anniversary, it seems like a good time to put it in people's hands and say, what do you think? Does this convey your feeling of it if you lived through it? And if you didn't live through it, does this give you a different feeling than, say, a documentary about it or something?
Is this something that you pass on to the kids you teach?
I've mentioned it. I hesitate to inflict my work on my students. Partly because I've had teachers who did that, and it doesn't feel very good.
Okay, I get it. I get it. But again, it's out now, and we'll let you know at home where you can get a copy coming up with us, so stay with us.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, back here, Mornings and Cornings, here with Edward Dougherty. Again, thanks so much for being here today. No, it's been so much fun. This is Journey Work. This is your latest.
Yes, this is the new book.
When did this come out?
Just March of this year.
March of this year. And if anyone that's watching wants to buy or have their own copy, because I already want my own copies myself. Some of these, you know, the green water, that's the one I want too. Where can they get it?
So they're all available online. If you wanted to buy them through me, you would have to go through my website and email me, and we can arrange something.
Yes, so we'll have the email on our website. Great. And what is your website? We'll have that also on our website as well. But
Edward Dougherty at WordPress. Or
if they Google you.
I hope it comes up in Google.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be on our website, mytwintears.com. We'll have the article after the show, and that way they can email you and you get yourself a copy, because these are very, very interesting. I could tell you the 9/11 one, all the ones that you've shown me. So I'm very excited that you were on our show this morning. So again,
thank you. I really appreciate it.
So again, stick with us, because we'll say bye to Edward coming up in just a bit.
See you soon.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Edward
been my
Dougherty.
pleasure.
It's
I
been
really
an
enjoyed it.
amazing time to get to know you and all of your work.
Thank you very much.
We're going to send you off to the weekend. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Again, happy Friday, and send you off to some more of your emblems. Take a look.